guys, welcome back to Two Brothers Gaming Podcast. This is episode 69. I'm here with Rylan.
Yeah, one more till 70.
Yeah.
It's the next episode
Yeah.
after we record.
Yeah, we'll get
It'll
it
finally
tonight.
be, so 31 more episodes to 100. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad. All right, we'll go ahead and get into it. Well, unless you want to go ahead and say what you usually say. Forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. If you guys want to, you don't have to, but, we would like you to
Okay.
join our Discord. We're at 20 members, I think, right now, right?
Yeah, 20.
We're at 20 members, so if you guys want to, join our Discord. We're going to have a movie night at 30, so if you want to join, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, we'll go ahead and get into it. So at the time of recording, 5 days ago, the Nintendo Switch turned 7 years old on March 3rd.
Yeah, it's really crazy how fast time flies. I remember being like 7, wanting that Switch because Colin had it,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, I want the Switch so bad." 'Cause I kept on seeing the commercials and everything. I mean, I finally
Finally got
have
it.
one of my own. Finally, took for 7 years. Well, 6 years,
Yeah.
right? Yes, it took 6 years, but finally got one. I don't really have any information on it, but
Okay.
turned 7 years old today. That's really something else.
Yeah, I just have a little article here. It says, "We struggle to remember a time that we thought of the Nintendo Switch as a new console. Maybe back in 2021 with the release of the OLED and the
OLED.
pandemic popularity of Animal Crossing. Perhaps, for the most part, everyone is keen to jump on the Switch is so old bandwagon.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah,
they are right in,
in 3 years.
yeah,
3 years, he'll be 10 years old already. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It says they are right, and we are reminded of that today. That's because today,
Yeah,
not today, but 3rd of March 2024 marks 7 years since the Switch release. As you read this, the console is entering its 8th, 7 years. It says let that one sink in for a moment. So, yeah, it's hard to believe that it is 7 years old, but
I know time flies.
it says that it's hard to remember when the Switch was a new system. I do remember it very well actually, but
I
because
do too.
not only does that make the Switch 7 years old, but it makes Breath of the Wild 7 years old as well because they
Yeah,
came out on the same
that
day.
was yeah, because people wanted to play that game because it was the most anticipated game of that year,
Oh,
wasn't it?
for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was, and I
I
wanted
I
to
got it
play
for
it.
Wii U first, and I beat it on Wii U and everything.
Yeah,
But it's a very good game. But yeah, it's just hard to believe the Switch. I do remember it being new. I remember Colin had one. He had Breath of the Wild for the Switch because I recommended
like,
Breath of the Wild to him. He'd never
I
played a Zelda
remember
game
it.
before. And then I recommended him Breath of the Wild. He got it for the Switch, and he would come over and we'd compare progress, and
Yeah.
then we'd even have a competition who could do like the shrine faster or whatever, get to this place, whatever. It was fun. But
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it coming out, and crap, I was 6 or something like that, 7?
uh, you'd have been, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, 7 years. No, I was
I
9.
was to say you'd be 9, probably. Yeah,
Yeah, I was 9. That's crazy. But like being, I was still in the single digits at the time when the Switch came out.
that's crazy. You're 16
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
That's crazy. So yeah, just not really I mean, it kind of is gaming news, but just to remind everybody that you're getting old. Switch is 7 years old now.
yeah. You people out there like myself, I'm getting old now.
I'm getting old
I can
too.
drive now. Uh,
Yeah. Um. So we talked about last week Nintendo suing Yuzu, and
yeah,
Nintendo settles a case against Yuzu.
yeah. I was actually kind of surprised about the result because
I
but
didn't. I didn't want it.
Nintendo won the case and Yuzu didn't.
Yeah. I
But
kind
I
of
got here.
figured, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I did say I feel like Nintendo's gonna win and whatnot.
Yeah, I was
But
hoping that they wouldn't, but yeah, I kind of felt that they would
yeah.
too.
Yeah. But what I got here is just over a week ago, Nintendo sued the developers of leading Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu for oh my gosh, facilitating piracy at a colossal scale. Now it appears that Yuzu will give up without a fight and give Nintendo everything it wanted, and it affects the Nintendo 3DS emulator, etc. too. According to a joint filing, Tropic Haze not only agreed to pay 20 or well no not 24 $2 million to Nintendo, but also says Yuzu is primarily designed to circumvent and play Nintendo Switch games. The company agrees to primarily enjoy from working on Yuzu hosts. Yuzu distributing Yuzu's code or features, hosting websites and social media promote Yuzu, or doing anything else with the circumvents Nintendo's copyright protection. Got here, they said piracy was never their intention.
Right.
It's, it says here, all and it will surrender the Yuzu. It's like the website or whatever. It's emu.org. Domain name to Nintendo, agreed to delete not only its copies of Yuzo, but also all circumvention tools used in development or using Yuzo, such as Tegra RCM GUI, Hitika, or something like that, Atmosphere, Lockpick RCM, ND Dump Tool, and X Dump Fuse, and Tegra Explorer, and hand over any physical circumventions, devices, and modified Nintendo hardware to Nintendo. It also agrees not to delete any other evidence that infringes Nintendo's IP rights. Yuza and Citra developer Bunny confirmed in the Yuzu Discord that both the Nintendo Switch and 3DS emulators are affected. It says we write to inform you that Yuzu and Yuzu support of Cetra is being discontinued effective immediately. So
Yeah, so just to recap, they didn't actually go to court. Yuzu just settled without having to put up a fight. They just settled and said, "Yeah, Nintendo, you win. We'll
yeah,
give you the 2.4 million. We'll hand over our source code and everything, all of our, our websites, and shut them down and everything." So
yeah,
not only did Yuzu shut down, but they took Citra down with them because they're made by the
yeah,
same developer, which really sucks because Citra what had no was not even mentioned in Nintendo's intentions to shut down,
yeah,
but they got a
yeah.
two for
But
one,
hey, yeah,
which sucks because Citra
you
is the
you would
only good 3DS emulator out there. I mean, there's
yeah
I think
you would
Panda
think like they
3DS
would
is
keep
coming out, but it's not out to the public yet. So Citra has been going
yeah
on for years and years, and it's compatible with almost every 3DS game, at least somewhat. Like Luigi's Mansion 2 is the only one that I know of that has some major difficulties, but
but
it's
you would think they wouldn't care about the 3DS since all the online servers or everything are shut down.
well, I mean they went after Dolphin. What was it last year? And it's a
Yeah,
GameCube. It's 20 years old, but they didn't win. They didn't win that lawsuit. But
yeah,
yeah, it's just Nintendo. They're picky because it's yes, I get it. It's their IPs. That's fine, but emulators are not illegal. It's how
yeah,
people use them that makes them illegal. If they download the games offline, that makes them illegal. Well,
yeah,
that just makes the game they're playing illegal. So what really shut Yuzu down was the promotion of them basically because they had it behind a paywall to
Yeah.
get early access to the new build of Yuzu. With anything
Because
that, if you're making money off anything Nintendo related, they will shut you
Nintendo's gonna,
down.
yeah,
And what also hurt them was they promoted Tears of the Kingdom, like we mentioned last week. They promoted Tears of the
yeah.
Kingdom being playable before its release. So that's
Hmm.
also not that's a big no.
I was just gonna say something about that because like, didn't they kind of promote Tears of the
They
Kingdom, show
did.
gameplay and whatnot before the game was out and stuff?
Right. So it's just it sucks, but if you have those downloaded, you can still play them.
Yeah,
But if you did not have them downloaded, then it's gonna be
like me.
you can find them. It's just gonna be hard because anything that's on the internet, especially open source, you will be able to find it. It just sucks that there's not gonna be any future builds. So like any
Yeah,
future Nintendo Switch games may not work that well, be that compatible, and there's not going to be any future updates in order to fix the compatibility issues.
yeah,
But there's still another emulator out there that's doing very well. It's Ryujinx. The Nintendo Switch emulator does pretty well. I used both of them because some games work better on Ryujinx, some more games work better on Yuzu. It just depends.
yeah.
But yeah, it just sucks to see
See
and
that
see
go.
Citra,
Yeah,
especially because it's not supported by Nintendo. They're not making any. Okay, I understand the Switch. It's a current system, so they're currently making money off of the Switch, off
yeah.
of the games, off of the consoles. That's fine.
I
I
mean,
understand shutting that down, whatever. If you have a right to do so, like if they were making money or whatever. But what I have a problem is with Citra, they're not making money off of that. They shut down the online server. They shut down the eShop. They're not
yeah.
selling
There's
them in
nothing
stores
you can
anymore.
do on the 3D. You can't do anything on 3DS anymore besides play games.
Right, unless you hack it and then you can get games that way. But that's also not
Yeah,
Nintendo's intentions for you to do that. So the Nintendo's not making money off of the 3DS anymore. They're not
yeah,
selling games for it anymore. They're not making consoles for it. They're not making money off of it. So that's the only way to play without having an actual 3DS. That's the only way to play these games. And it doesn't
yeah. True.
really, I don't think it really matters because, like I said, they're not making money off of it. So it doesn't matter if you hack your 3DS and get games that way or if you emulate them and get them that way. So it doesn't matter. They're not making the money off of them anymore. In my opinion,
Yeah,
that shouldn't
I don't
matter.
really get why they shut that one down.
I think it's just because they were developing both. So if they
True.
shut down
True.
Tropic Haze LLC, which who the company was, they just shut down everything they make.
They just said, "Okay, screw you guys. We're going to shut down everything you've built."
Yeah, yeah, that sucks. Definitely.
Yeah.
But just moving on with the next topic, still continuing with Yuzu. Switch Yuzu replacements are already popping up.
In fact, this usually hasn't even been gone for what, 5
5
days
days.
or so? Yeah, it's been like 5 days, and there's already replacements for it. So we got here. Yuzu allowed users to play Nintendo Switch games on PC. Last week, it was revealed that Nintendo had filed a lawsuit against Tropic Haze. We've covered that, obviously.
Right.
The company behind it, at the time, Nintendo alleged that the emulator provides any internet user in the world with it with the means to unlawfully decrypt and play virtually any Nintendo Switch game, including Nintendo's current generation and most popular games, without ever paying a dime for a Nintendo console or for that game. It added that there is no lawful way to use Yuzo in play Nintendo Switch games, partially because it must decrypt encrypting in order to function. Yesterday, March 4th, obviously, not March 4th, it's 8th, right? March 8th,
Yeah, today
right now?
is.
time recording. It was confirmed that Tropicage will pay $2.4 million in settlement to Nintendo. We covered that last topic. As in the settlement, the emulation company stated that the team has always been together, always been against piracy, and we have not. We have been deeply disappointed when users have used our software to leak game content prior to its release. It hopes that pulling the software offline will be a small step towards the end of piracy of all creators' works. However, this hasn't stopped the influx of new emulation software surfacing across social media and beyond in an attempt to take users' place, some which were seemingly uploaded mere hours after the announcement of Yuzu's shutdown. Although many emulators advertise that themselves as being for legal use, it's worth nothing that Nintendo's official stance is firmly against emulation of any kind and on its intellectual property and piracy frequently asked questions page. The company states, while we recognize the passion that players have for classic games, supporting emulation also supports the illegal piracy of our products. Wherever possible, Nintendo and its license attempt to find ways to bring legitimate classics to current systems via Virtual Console titles, for example. Furthermore, it adds that you're not meant to be making backups for your games either, so the problem extends beyond people to be able to access, the games and everything that they've not paid for, and there is some misfortune on the internet regarding this backup artificial exception. This is a very narrow limitation that ends to the computer software to be categorized as any software only, Nintendo explains. Therefore, provision the perfection or the pertain to backup copies would not apply to copyrighted video games, works, and specifically ROM downloads that are typically unauthorized or infrated. With that in mind, it seems like Nintendo may end up taking legal action against these new emulators as well, although it remains to be seen how long this will take. That was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So,
Nintendo is probably gonna sue these new emulators as well since they sued Yuzu also. Oh,
well, they probably will because since Yuzu had to hand over their source code and everything,
yeah.
Nintendo owns Yuzu now. So it's their property now. So if
So
these
any like
other
remake of
emulators
Yuzu,
is
basically
they Nintendo owns
Nintendo
it.
basically owns that. Yeah.
I've seen some of them like they were some popping up. They're like sue you and like su. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
just. It was funny. Like they were
It was
working emulators, but based
yeah,
off of
I mean,
Yuzu. But it was like sue
yeah, they
you and all
basically
different
kind of had
ones.
the name. They they had the same, like basically kind of the same name as Yuzu, but
It was sue
it's
you.
just different. Yeah, Sue
Yeah, there's a
You
bunch of
and
different
other.
ones. But also, if you're going to plan on downloading any of these, I wouldn't, or I would at least pay attention because it's open source, and now that it's shut down, people are going to be looking for these emulators like right now, like trying to
Yeah,
get them up and whatever. And people will put viruses in those and malware, and it'll
yeah, because
sometimes it'll
people
be hard
were,
to notice. So be careful downloading any of these emulators,
yeah,
forks of Yuzu that are just popping up.
you know, that's the reason Yuzu was like the best one because
Yeah.
there's no viruses.
Right,
They
right.
kept everything under control, and they actually made
Yeah, it
everything
was
safe for
trusted.
people to download.
If
Yeah,
you're wanting
but
a
now,
Nintendo Switch emulator and you can't find the original Yuzu online anywhere, I would recommend just downloading Ryujinx. Just
yeah,
use it. It's really good. That way you won't get a virus or malware or anything. Don't use any of these ones that are popping up
yeah,
because it's just anybody like me or you could just make a fork of Yuzu with their source code and put whatever we want in it. So
Yeah.
it's not safe to download all of these replacements. At least not yet. Eventually, yes, somebody will make a replacement and it'll be worth playing
You
or
know.
worth, doing, but
Yeah.
back to where Nintendo owns the source code now, we might see a time in the next couple, maybe next generation, but I doubt it, but probably the next couple Nintendo generations where like because Nintendo emulates their old systems like Nintendo Switch Online, like NES, SNES,
Yeah.
N64. Those are run off emulators. So we might
Yeah.
see a time that Nintendo Switch is being
There's
emulated
gonna be. Yeah.
off of Nintendo's on Nintendo's
Like
actual hardware, but they might use the Yuzu source code
they actually might do that.
because it's already compatible with a ton of Switch games, so that would be
Yeah.
minimum work for Nintendo. They
Plus,
already own
they
this
could
great
also.
emulator, so why not use it
Yeah.
on their future consoles to emulate Switch games?
Yeah. That would be smart for
That
them
would
to
be
do that.
smart, but
And
that would make a lot of people mad, I think, if they found out.
yeah, if they found out it was Yuzu's emulator, they'd be like, "What the crap? Why are you using?
Yeah, it's
You
like you
didn't make
shut this
that. Like
down and then now you're using it or
you're
whatever, but
using it." Yeah, people would be mad that they didn't make it themselves and everything. Also, those other people did and
right.
everything.
Well, like Sony, they've done that before with
Yeah.
for the PlayStation Mini, or you know what I'm talking about, the PlayStation Classic that came out a couple years ago. Their mini console had a bunch of games on it.
Oh yeah.
It had a fan made emulator. It was PCSX, a fork of it. They went and got source code from a fan made emulator, and they used that
Yeah.
emulator to in their actual first party hardware. So Nintendo might do that. They own that source code now. They own Yuzu,
Yeah,
so
they do. They do own it. So
we'll just have to see. But yeah, it just sucks. Yuzu shutting down Citra. It definitely sucks, but I mean that's just what it is. If
yeah.
you try to make profit off of Nintendo's property, they'll
Yeah.
they'll shut you down every
They're
time.
going. I mean, they didn't care about them, doing it, but they actually tried to get money off of it and stuff.
Right. Right.
That's the
Yeah. Like I
reason they
said,
stepped in.
emulators are not illegal. It's what you do with it and how you go about it. And
Yeah.
also having to hack switches and get the firmware and the title keys off of that, that's illegal as well. So that's another reason why it was shut down as too. So
Yeah.
all right, moving on. Ghost of Tsushima PC port is coming.
I'm excited for this. I've played the Ghost of Tsushima a few times. Like I've played through it a few times.
So I've never played it. So
It's a
I
really
just know
good.
it's very popular.
Yeah, it's a samurai game. But I got here, the flood of PlayStation exclusives coming to PC continues. This time it is director's cut for the samurai drama Ghost of Tsushima, which is launching on PC May 16th. That's the date that's going to be released. This version of the game includes the main campaign as well as Iki Island expansion and multiplayer mode called Legends. Aside from that, Sony says the PC port will feature unlocking frame rates, a variety of graphic settings, presets, customizable mouse and keyboard controls, and is fully optimized to 21:9 and 32:9 resolutions. Even supports 48:9 resolutions for a triple monitor setup. The port is being handled by Nix's, a studio Sony acquired in 2001. The news shouldn't be too much of a surprise as Sony has made a PC into a key part of its strategy. So far, we've seen ports to games like God of War, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, and The Last of Us, while Horizon Forbidden West launching later this month. The breakout multiplayer hit Helldiver 2 meanwhile launched simultaneously with PC and PS5 in February, which we talked about this
Yeah.
a few episodes ago. But that's all I have for that.
Okay. So yeah, like Ron said, It is launching on PC on May 16th this year. So look forward to
Yeah.
that.
You guys who, they said there's a whole bunch of different graphic settings and everything.
Yeah, it sounds pretty
Could
cool.
make it more realistic or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All
So,
right.
you guys who wanna try out the game, who have PC, try it out May 16th.
Yep. There you go. All right. Moving on, just going back to the Yuzu thing. Do you think Yuzu shutting down will hurt emulation altogether? Like, do you think that it'll
No,
make other emulators shut down because they're scared of getting sued by Nintendo, or do you think
I
that
don't
it'll
I
just
don't
deter people from even trying to emulate Nintendo consoles?
I feel like see, Nintendo didn't care about people emulating their game. They knew about it, obviously,
Oh yeah, it's been going on
but
for years since the Nintendo
yeah,
Switch came out.
yeah,
Very
but
shortly after.
if you're gonna try to make money off of the games, that's when it becomes a problem. So, no, I don't think Nintendo's gonna go after any of the other like, the emulators that, actually like, Dolphin and stuff like that. They're not gonna go after emulators like that because it's just the games, you know, and everything. But if those companies and stuff try to make profit off it, yeah, they're gonna go after them. I think, I don't think it's gonna really affect emulation much at all.
Okay.
Maybe a few emulators might shut down or something, but I
Yeah.
feel like the major ones won't.
Okay. So I don't think it'll actually hurt emulation. I think it's just going to make them more aware of what, just to be
Yeah,
more careful.
of what not to do and stuff,
Right. So like you said, making money off of it. So there's a Nintendo DS emulator on Android, the Google Play Store. It's called Drastic DS. They
I've seen
charged
that before.
like, I don't remember, like $3, $5, something like that for it. But since Yuzu got shut down, they made it free. So they're not making money off of it anymore. So I don't know if they got scared of like, hey, we're making money off of this. It's a
They might have
Nintendo
actually.
console. They're like, we better make it free just so they don't come after us. So I don't.
Yeah, just so we don't get, like, sued or
Yeah,
something.
so I think that definitely was why they made it free because it was just the perfect timing. Like Yuzu got shut
Probably,
down, and then they're like,
because
yeah, we're gonna make it free. So those
I
of
mean,
you that want,
that's been out for quite a while.
it has. I bought it on my Odin. I don't know, year or two ago. Well, I guess not quite 2 years,
Yeah,
but almost 2 years ago. But yeah. So guys, if you want a good, it's a really good Nintendo original Nintendo DS emulator. It's called Drastic
yeah,
DS. It's for free now on the Google Play Store if you have an Android.
yeah, it's good,
But yeah,
it's good.
so I don't think it'll actually hurt emulation. I think it'll keep going strong. More emulators keep coming
Yeah.
out and
I
everything.
mean,
I just think it'll make
there's a
them
whole
more
bunch of
aware.
emulators, I mean
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I think it'll just make them more aware and make them pay more attention to what they're doing and not get greedy making money. I'm not saying that Yuzu was greedy or anything because they seemed like a good bunch of people that cared about the gaming
yeah.
community. It's just
They just wanted
they had
people
a
to,
Patreon and they were just charging for early access, which a lot of places do for different things that they offer. But I think
yeah.
just the point that it was Nintendo Switch emulation specifically that they were making money off of is what messed up.
Yeah, it's because Switch is a current console.
Yeah, so I think if it was last gen
So,
console, it wouldn't
Nintendo's
matter as much because they're not like
yeah.
going after Simu or anything like the Wii U emulator or anything like that.
They went after the Nintendo one because, they're making profit off of their games and everything, so
Right.
I understand why they did it.
I do too. I just wish they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wish Yuzu's still up, and I mean, it's like I said, if you have it, you can still play it. Just because it just won't have any future updates until somebody comes out with another
Yeah.
emulator. I mean, like I said, Jinx is a very good Nintendo Switch Yuzu alternative. But
Yeah.
all right, guys, that's all the topics we have. We appreciate you for watching or listening. Remember, you can always watch us live on Kick and YouTube, and follow us on all of our podcast socials. our Twitch Kick and YouTube accounts, our personal Twitch Kick and YouTube accounts, our podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Discord,
Yep.
pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Buy our merch on Redbubble and Printify. If you want custom merch, you can DM us on Instagram and Discord. Rylan, do you have anything?
No, not really. Just as I said, join our Discord and on YouTube. It's going to be in the link description. You can get it off our Instagram, get it off, mainly all of our socials. Uh, Also, like as Ashton said, follow our TikTok, Instagram, you know, Kick, Twitch, all that, YouTube.
Yeah.
Uh, if, as you said, if you want merch, Redbubble Printify, you can DM us on Instagram or Discord for you know custom merch if you guys want that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really all I have to say. Just thank you guys for listening.
All right. Yeah. Thanks. And we'll catch you in the next episode.